Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Ochs with smartsocial.com, and we're live here in Los Angeles, California. Today, we have a special treat. We have 4 students from all over the country talking about TikTok, and maybe you've heard of this hot app. Statistics say that it's YouTube that every student has, and then there's Snapchat and Instagram and a bunch of other things, but TikTok, based in China, has shot up to the top of the charts, right behind, in certain demographics, right behind YouTube. Today, we're talking all about TikTok. We're going to hear from real students. Now, you can go Google the negative side. You've heard this from people all over the world, the negatives and stuff. But I've got real students here who are going to talk about this. We've got Lucy, who's a junior. We've got Harry, who's a senior in high school. Lydia is in 6th grade, and Kylie is in 8th grade. And then we have Mr. David Kaufman, who is a teacher of some of these students, and one of my friends, and somebody who's just rallying behind the cause of smartsocial.com to help us with everything we do. Mr. Kaufman, I'm so glad you're here. All right.
Here.
I'm going to have one of you raise your hand, and we're going to dive in. Harry, we're going to start with you. Why not? And then everybody else is just going to take your lead. Harry, what do you like about TikTok? Let's dive into the positives first.
So the first thing, TikTok is the main reason for the app. It's supposed to be fun. Like, all of my friends, when they make their videos, they make dancing, they make funny, they make witty stuff. And then it has this ability to blow up and be shared with people around the world. I like to take people's original content. If I like the way it looks, or if I think it's a funny joke, or if I think it's relatable, I send it in a chat with my friends and I make sure they see it. That's what I use the app for.
That's awesome. Let's talk, Lucy, what do you like about TikTok? What's either something that you like or inspires you? Why do you use it?
I love to see everybody's original content and what they're doing. A lot of people do craft videos, cooking videos. Some people do workout videos, and there's just a lot of things that are inspiring. And I love that everybody has a chance to shine on this app. It's when you're on your For You page, you're not just seeing celebrities and people that everybody know. Everybody's given a chance to shine and do inspiring things.
I like that. I like what you're hinting at. It's normal people can be seen by a lot of people. Kylie, what do you like about TikTok?
I like that there's 2 ways to use the app. You can either make videos that other people can enjoy and share with their friends, or you can watch videos that inspire you and are funny and creative.
Awesome. So passive and active is kind of what you're hinting at, right? Watch others or create your own. Lydia, so good to have you here. Lydia, what do you like about TikTok?
I like how you can just make videos with your friends, and it's fun. You can have fun with them. It's a different way of living, and again, you normal people get chances.
Lydia, have you seen anything negative? You're in 6th grade. Have you seen anything negative on TikTok that you might not like?
Some people in the comment sections will comment negative things about people's dancing or whatever, and I don't think that's right.
Have you noticed how much time you might be on your phone? Does TikTok, do you find that TikTok's easy to put down, or is it something that might hog a little bit of our time?
It just depends. Sometimes you can be really on it, and sometimes if you're having fun, but also you can say you need to stop and take a break. It might be tempting to go back on it, but
yeah. Other students, what do you think about the time constraint? What do you think about how do you manage your time on TikTok?
I can see how it gets kids really get suckered in. I mean, it's so easy to just watch quick content and you just move through it. And I think a lot of people get suckered on, but I think the creators of TikTok realize this, and they have ways that they kind of constrain your time. You can set your own time limit, or they also sometimes will push into your For You page a video of someone saying, hey, take a break, go outside. So I think there's ways that you can kind of self-motivate almost yourself to not be on it.
Parents, if you're listening to this, we have a course that's a few minutes and a few dollars that teaches you how to set up those constraints. Kylie or Harry, what do you think about the screen time usage? And I kind of want to get into it. How does that make you feel when you're done using TikTok?
I'll go first. I personally, I don't think I struggle with it as much, but I know a lot of people definitely struggle with, like, with any app, it's going to be like this, but TikTok being the focus here. My friends always say, man, I might spend 2 hours on that thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't see how that's a thing that I would struggle with. I don't know.
Okay. Anybody else? I'll be the first one. I'm going to be vulnerable here. I downloaded the app because we had to do a review. Then the news has been calling saying, what do you think of this app? So we downloaded it, and students, tell me if I'm wrong here. I'm a normal human, but I downloaded it and I had so much fun. And Lindsay did the same thing at our company. She had so much fun that we had to literally delete the app after 2 days. Like, no. An hour went by like that. Maybe I'm an addicted personality. I don't know. But have you, Kylie or Lucy, have you felt that way? Or is that just me?
I've definitely felt that way, but if you're really struggling with that, I think there's ways on your phone where you can set limits for yourself and try to come up with a distraction from your phone and take a break and go outside or enjoy other things.
Yeah, that's a great point. Lucy, what do you think?
I definitely get stuck on it a lot, and I spend like way more time on it than I definitely should because it is so entertaining and you just see so much. I guess, yeah, it's tough trying, but also I think that, like, I know like my parents would say something like, hey, get off your phone. And I think that like little reminders like that, it's like for parents to know that it's okay to sometimes tell your kids like they should take a break. And like kids also need to realize to be like respectful for that too.
That's a really great tip. Everybody who's watching this right now, we're talking about what students think of TikTok. And I want to show you here just real quick, if we can, kind of one of those features. I want to dive into this. I'm searching for TikTok here right now. I'm actually going to put this over here. And there is a feature. Parents, if you're listening to this, you can go to smartsocial.com to take a look at this. But here we are. We're on, didn't mean to click there. I didn't know there was a pause button. I clicked in the middle of the screen for the pause button, but there's a little tiny trick. We have a whole course on TikTok, and it's for students on how to be positive on TikTok on Smart Social. But there's a little tiny, if you click on the me, there's 3 dots in the upper right, parents, and there's a couple different things, but privacy and safety, and then there's balance. Take a look in those. The whole balance thing is supposed to help you with balance tips. It kind of broke for me the other day. Have you guys turned on here it is, digital well-being. There's a digital well-being area, lets you turn on screen time management, and you can limit it. But notice what they do here, students. Tell me what you think of this. They let you limit it to only 40 minutes. So if you're like, I'd like to get 15 minutes in, they want 40 minutes for the day, and then you can turn on that screen time management. So parents, if you're wanting to talk with your kids about this, that's something to consider that the students are referring to. So what's something that you want parents to know about this app, students? What's something that you wish that they understood? Go ahead if you've got an answer. Don't be shy.
I wish parents understood that TikTok is a great way to express yourself through videos that you make.
Awesome.
I think a lot of...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Harry.
I think they also need to realize that TikTok has some pretty strict guidelines. At least what I found is videos that have knives in them get taken down. Like even if you're just like one of the videos is like making a snack, like cutting up an apple, and that video got taken down. And it's like they have strict, if audio that they use in the app is being used in an inappropriate way, they take down the audio. And so they're constantly like looking at like what's going on recent. It's a lot better in my opinion than other apps that I use like Instagram and Twitter, where it's like that stuff will just stay on there and the guidelines are a little bit less strict.
Lucy, what do you think?
Sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Lucy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think like parents will think of TikTok and they only think of like the bad things that you could be seeing, but I don't think they think of the things that can inspire students to do great things. Like, especially in times like right now, the quarantine things that people are dealing with, it just like, it connects you with your friends, and it also allows you to see people's ideas and things you can try. And like, I just think that for like, especially the time we're in right now, it's a great app for like connecting and inspiring students.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So, Mr. Kaufman, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I actually really don't like TikTok at all. And to give you an example, we were at our sectional swim meet for the state, and I'm warming up my swimmers, and I look over and I see another team waiting to get in the water, but I see three girls doing basically a TikTok. At first, I didn't have a clue what they were doing. Then I realized they had propped a phone up on a chair and was doing a TikTok instead of thinking about the races that they've been preparing for 3-4 months, some even for a year. That all comes down to this, and here they're more worried about doing a TikTok dance. As a coach, that kind of bothered me. I can understand probably the addictiveness of it. And like, I think it was Harry that said that most apps can be addicting, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. The time you kind of get sucked into that time. So I'm really not a real, for TikTok. However, I think with the time limits, that kind of helps a little bit, but you have to have a little self-control of saying, okay, I need to put it down. Or you see that warning or that suggestion of, hey, go outside. And you're like, nah, keep on doing TikTok. And just keep on. You almost have to have that self-control, or that parent that says, enough is enough. You had your 40 minutes. Time to do something else.
Now, students, let's talk about, thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Students, we believe tools like TikTok can be very fun, right? It's a lot like sugar and ice cream. I love ice cream, but in small quantities, awesome. In too much, if I sat down at the table and just wanted to eat all the ice cream, I wouldn't know when to stop, right? So what would you tell other students who are on it a lot? How can they limit it? Should parents be harder on their kids, or how can we motivate students to want to self-regulate so maybe there's less arguments? Do you guys have any tips or ideas or brainstorming there? Lydia, do you have any ideas?
Like maybe if you have like homework to do the homework first, and then after you finish the homework, then you can go on it.
Love that. That's a great tip.
One thing that my friend group did over the summer, which was kind of fun, is we did, because on iPhones, at least, I'm sure other phones have it too, but all of us have iPhones, and it tells you your weekly screen time at the end of the week on Sundays. You can go look at how much time you spent, and our friend group did a competition to see like who could have the lowest screen time. And I think everybody is motivated by contests like that, and so it was a fun thing to do for our friend group.
That's a good tip. Lowest screen time. I haven't heard of that. I love it. Anybody else?
Sometimes some of my friends, we did this thing where we used to get really into like the games on our phone. So like we'd play in a game, and then we'd look over at the table, or like maybe we'd be in a situation where like not all of us are playing in the game and one of them is playing at the game. We'd be like, bet you couldn't put the phone down. Bet you couldn't put the phone down. And then they have to put the phone down and like start interacting again. Like it's almost like a challenge. You know what I mean? A lot of times it comes down to doing it as a group, keeping each other accountable, and then just having that self-discipline, like internally, just be as the individual. You got to be able to say, hey, when it's time to like, when they give me the alert to go outside, I have to listen. When it gives me the alert, like, oh, I've hit my screen time limit, that's when you have to stop. Like you can't just keep going and keep going. And is that more so the app's fault, or is that your fault?
So why can't we keep going? Let me play devil's advocate. Why? I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but I want one of you to tell me, why can't I spend 2 hours a day on this? Let's ask the question. 3 hours a day. Is that too, Mr. Kaufman? No. Mr. Kaufman, no. I love you, but Kylie, why can't I spend 3 hours a day on this app? Let's just.
Well, there's definitely other things that you should be spending your time doing, like, for instance, exercising. Just there's a ton of different things that you should probably be doing.
Okay. Lucy, what are you thinking? Like, what do you think this keeps us from doing the important things? And if so, what are they? Because I'd rather know what bad looks like so that I can self-regulate. We're not here to tell parents to get off the app. Or is it better to hear that from your parents, or is it better to come from inside? Harry, what do you think?
Sometimes you have to establish what my parents always told me, like a little bit of something can be good, like just as long as you're not doing good things in excess. So then you have to determine what excess is, and maybe 2 hours isn't excess. Maybe 2 hours is completely fine. Like, you're making your content, you're sharing content with others, and then after 2 hours you're able to put it down and get done what you need to get done. What should we tell parents? Parents, like any app with their kids, they should be monitoring it. There's always like a manage profile button where you can have it signed in on multiple devices so you can see what your kids are looking at, what content your kids are producing, and then checking up on them, leaving little notes like, hey, maybe you should change this to this. Maybe we should take this down. Maybe just suggestions. It's a conversation. You know what I mean?
I love that. Hey, Lydia, are your parents, Lydia, on TikTok?
No, but like they help us like sometimes say like, hey, like you've been on your phone for a while, just like sometimes have us like set it on the counter, go outside, or like interact with each other.
How would you guys feel if your parents were on TikTok?
I don't think it would bother me. My parents are on Instagram and Twitter, so they already see what our family is like posting. Like, nothing's like a secret in our family. So like if my mom or dad joined TikTok, like I don't think it would change much, because I think that our family has been like raised to be responsible on social media. So I don't think it would really change much if my parents were on social media or on TikTok.
Kylie, are your parents on TikTok?
No.
She's my sister.
Oh, you guys are sisters?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. This is awesome. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Okay. What do you guys think? Like, if you had to tell a student who's on TikTok too much, what would you tell that student to either think about, focus on, or just to be their friend? Is there anything that you might, well, let me ask you this. What strengthens you? Does TikTok, when you're done, strengthen you and make you feel better? Or are there other things that might strengthen you? You know, Lydia brought something up, or one of you brought something up, do your homework first and then jump on it. You know, what would you tell a student who might be on this a lot? Once again, this isn't about parents yelling at their kids as much as what's that nugget that we can do to tell students nationwide? Any of you who are watching this right now, parents, if you have students that might want to be on an interview like this, we do these all the time. We'd love to interview as well. You can go to smartsocial.com, click on the contact button to reach out to us to host one of these as well. But students, what do you think we could do to make sure we're strong, but then we're also using TikTok? Any tips?
I kind of like what Mr. Kaufman said when he's talking about they're at the state swimming meet, and he's kind of getting like a little, he's kind of getting upset with people who are treating the state meet something that's very important, something that tons of kids train their whole season to go out and do. And then right before the big moment, they're using TikTok. You got to establish these boundaries of when is an appropriate time to use this and when is not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kylie?
Yeah, I agree. You definitely need to set guidelines for yourself to like limit the time that you spend on TikTok, and try to limit the time other people spend on TikTok by interacting with them, or yeah.
Yeah, I think if a student or a child is struggling with that self-motivation about time restraint, I think it's okay for parents to step in and say, hey, you know what, like you can be on TikTok for an hour, but then how about when you're done, you come help me do the laundry or something like that. Like, I think it's important that children do take time away. And so I think that parents helping them is okay.
What do you guys think about families doing TikTok together?
I think that's like a cool thing to do because like you get to interact with your family, have fun. It's like a nice thing to do.
Okay, one last question. Have you guys seen anything, maybe students at school who get really quiet? Or are there any things that you could tell other students if they see this, or parents, or what to look out for? Maybe when a kid gets quiet because they're online so much, maybe they're feeling bad, maybe they're sad. Do you have any ideas or tips or stories? You don't have to share their name, but is there anybody that you saw that maybe somebody cheered them up, or you wish this had happened? Any suggestions there? Because we're online so much. The studies show that if we consume this much content, we begin to compare ourselves. And is there anybody at school that might be comparing themselves using TikTok? Kylie, what do you see when you see that?
Yeah, I definitely think that kids our age, when they see people that they want to be, like maybe from fame, then they start like acting like them and maybe spending way too much time on the app trying to be them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I have a really good point to add with this. I kind of almost wrote a paper on this for one of my composition classes about how people feel when they compare and using different apps. And I looked at a wide variety, but I didn't look at TikTok. TikTok specifically, I don't think it's like one of those things where you showcase lifestyle. Like Facebook, I feel like that's where people showcase, like, this is what I'm doing with my life. This is where we're going on vacation. This is my kids. This is my dad, and whatever. And Instagram is like, look at all this fun stuff that I'm doing. Whereas TikTok, it's more of like, it's not about your lifestyle. It's just a positive expression of yourself. Like, what ideas can you come up with, rather than talking about my life and how great it is. And I feel like, if anything, with this whole comparison thing, TikTok is the exact opposite of some of these apps.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of students would agree with me on that.
I agree. I think that, like, when you look at TikTok and look at the content on TikTok, it's kids like sharing maybe not the most glamorous parts of their life, and like a funny thing that they experience at school, or like how they're, like, especially now, like how they're dealing with quarantine and stuff like that. And I think that that is relatable to other students, and other students can be like, oh, I agree with you. I feel that way too. And so I don't think it's as much as a comparing as much as it is like a collective sharing of ideas.
Lydia, what do you think?
Sorry.
I think like I agree with all of them. It's like a nice app, and it's like I don't think anyone really compares themselves to anyone else.
Harry?
To go back to answer your original question about what do you do when you see a kid maybe withdrawing and going and leaning on technology as a crutch, a lot of times a large percentage of the time when something like that's about to happen, they teach the kids at Medina High School, at least, see something, say something. Almost a large percentage of the time, they're going to give you a warning sign before something like that happens. And reaching out could be as easy as saying hello. It could be as easy as just asking questions, like being a listener, looking at them in the face, making sure that, hey, I care about what's going on in your life. And it's as simple as checking up on someone.
Kylie, what do you think?
I agree with all of them. I definitely think that there's less comparison from other apps, but I still think that there is a little bit of it, because there is with everything, people wanting to be other people.
Yeah. some of the influencers are pretty skinny, probably pretty sexy, probably like, you're like, huh, that's interesting, right? Mr. Kaufman, what do you think?
I agree that there's a lot of less on TikTok of comparison of, hey, you just bought something, you have this lifestyle. However, I could still see, I'm not the best of dancers, and all of a sudden you're up there dancing, Josh, and I'm like, man, he has the moves. I'm jealous of Josh, and why can't I be more like Josh and want that comparison? I do think that it's important if you see someone a little off to say something, or maybe you notice them, always looking down, looking away, looking depressed, to say something to them. And they might actually just spill their guts to you.
Lydia?
So like to answer that, like it'd be like, I think some people can be like, say, I wish I was like her, I wish I could dance like her, but at the same time, we're all unique and we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to each other.
Awesome. All right. For parents, they're like, I don't have time to talk to my kids about TikTok. My kids are spending all this time. I don't have time for that. What would you say to parents? Because a lot of times I tell the parents, students, I tell them, hey, put your kids' interest first. I know you don't care about Snapchat or TikTok or anything else, but your kids are interested in it. Consider jumping on that app. Put your kids' interest in the app first, and your desires second, because your kids want to spend time with you sometimes on these apps. They're just begging for you to laugh with them at this funny thing of this person falling or dancing or whatever. What would you say to parents who are on the fence about, oh, there's a new app out each week? This is what parents think. New app out each week. I don't have time. What would you tell them if their kid wants them to be on the app?
I would say give it a chance. I think there's more to it that parents don't realize that they could maybe enjoy or take part into. There's family content that they can enjoy with their kids. And I think that if that is something that they are on the fence about, they could try it. And if they really don't like it, they can just delete it.
Harry?
Just like what parents will tell their kids, it's like you want to try as many things as you can, right? And in some ways, I can understand this whole time commitment thing, like just how kids have to choose whether they're going to do this or do that. Parents also have to choose whether they're going to check up on their kids, whether they're going to download this app and use it with them or not. And if they decide that they're not going to do that, I feel like that's simply the parent's choice. But if they think it's going to be one of these issues where it's like, oh man, I don't have time to like check up on my kid and like make sure that this app is like they're using it for the good, then I don't know what their alternative is. I don't know what their solution to this problem that they make up in their head is. If they're not going to check up on their kids, if they're not going to monitor, if they're not going to use the app with them, then either say do or don't. Like,
let me ask one more question. Do you think it's good? I'm going to cause some controversy here. Do you think your parents have the right to have the passcode to your phone? Thumbs up or Lydia, what do you think?
Like, I think yes and no. It just depends. Like, our family, like, we write down our passcodes and like we put it in this drawer. So then if like my parents like need it on an emergency, they will. But like they will like ask me sometimes, but like it's like it's just kind of like in between. You don't want them always on your phone, but you don't want them never on your phone. You want them like sometimes checking up on you.
Kylie?
I think that parents should have your passcode just so they can make sure like what you're doing on social media is responsible and respectful to others.
Lucy?
I guess in our household, like our parents have access to everything on our phone and it's never bothered me. I think that parents and their children should just build like build up a trust where you can trust each other. And if they need to look at your phone, they can look at your phone. I mean, you're under their house, you live by their rules, and I don't think that changes on the internet.
Great tip. Harry, what do you think?
Yeah, my parents have the passcode to my phone. It's not like a situation where it's like they're looking at everything, no one's got the time for that. But I feel like that's the way that it should be in every household. Like I don't have anything to hide. I'm not doing anything that they wouldn't want me to do. As long as I'm living on their dime, as long as they pay for the phone, as long as, yeah, go for it. Like that's kind of, I would say that is their right. And does that bother me? No, I would agree with Lucy. That doesn't bother me at all.
That's awesome. Hey, I got to tell you, all you students are so mature. I don't even know, I barely know you, but I'm so proud of all of you. You guys are doing so great and obviously setting a great standard. Any of you parents or educators who are watching this, we love doing these kinds of interviews because we want to hear directly from students because they are adults in our eyes. How can we have them self-monitor? How can we let them someday shine online? And how can we work with them rather than hiding parts of the world, parts of the internet, because they're extremely good at going around parental controls and everything else. So how do we work with them to dialogue? Mr. Kaufman, thank you for connecting me with these students. As a teacher, you are awesome. And as a friend as well, thank you. And to all of you students, I really appreciate all that you've done to take time out today. And thank you to everybody. Those of you listening and watching, you can click the links below to learn more about smartsocial.com. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Remember to rate, subscribe, and review. We'll see all of you on the next episode. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.